beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hussein Sibyl. If you're tuning in for the first time, and you're welcome to my channel, and for those who've always been here with me, thank you for being here. It is always a pleasure to have you. You all have not been able to film, like I said in the other video, because I was having a cold. Like my voice was gone, I could not film. I was just doing like write-ups and stuff, and I wasn't enjoying it because I just love talking to you all so much. So thank God I'm feeling okay now, even though my voice is not normal yet, but I'm hoping that it's going to get better as time goes on. So in this video, I'm going to be answering a question I got from the comment section. Someone is asking if they can come back to UAE after being deported from UAE or after having a travel ban. Of course, when you have a travel ban, you have to be deported back to your country, right? I'm going to say that coming back to UAE depends on the kind of thing you were deported for, because there are certain things that if you're deported for, you will never come back to UAE. But there are certain things that when you're deported for or you have a travel ban for, you can be able to return to UAE. Like if you just go because of an immigration problem, you're deported because of an immigration problem, like you have a problem with the immigration and you're being deported, you can be able to come back. Or you have a deportation because of your job, you can be able to come back. But if you have something like a drug problem in UAE and you're deported, you will never be able to come back to UAE. If you're found guilty, you will never be able to come back to UAE. Or certain heavy crimes, you can never ever come back to UAE, even if you apply for a travel ban. I did a video saying how you can cancel a travel ban on you in 2022. The video is on my channel. Actually, it's right here. I'll even put the link in the description box below. The things I'm going to list here, if it fits you and you're still in your country and you want to re-enter UAE and you don't know how, you can follow the steps, or you can contact me on Facebook. My Facebook is Here From Sibyl. I'm on Instagram as Hussein_Sibyl, and I'm on TikTok as Here From Sibyl. Or you can send me an email. My email is hussein@gmail.com, and I will explain it to you all over again and how you can go about it, because there is a way you can go about it to cancel a travel ban on you, and then you can re-enter UAE again. The first thing I'm going to talk about is being deported due to abscond. Actually, I'm going to be reading from this paper that I have with me because I don't want to miss the important points, because it's what people get deported for most of the time. It says that if an employee is absent from work for 7 days without the employer knowing their whereabouts and the reasons for their absence, the employer can file for abscond complaint at the Ministry of Labor and Emiratisation. And if the employee is traced in UAE, they will be detained and deported. And any employee deported on the grounds of abscond will not be allowed to work in the UAE. If an individual is deported, they may not be allowed to re-enter the UAE, but they can grant a power of attorney to anyone residing in the UAE to check if it is a lifetime ban on them. If there is a lifetime ban, the person can authorize his power of attorney holder to appear on his behalf before the authorities concerned in the UAE and the possibility of lifting the travel ban. So if you're being deported from UAE because of abscond, you can grant power of attorney to anyone residing in UAE that you know. It can either be your family member, it can be like a friend, and then they'll go into the immigration and check if it's a life ban on you. And if it is a life ban, you can tell them to appear. If it's a court case or what, they can go and be there on your behalf and the ban will be lifted. Like I said, check the video in the description box. It is how you can apply for a travel ban. When they apply for that travel ban, you can be able to enter the UAE again after that. So if you're absent from work for 7 days and your employer doesn't know where you are, they can file for abscond. And when you get that abscond, you'll be detained and deported. When you go back to your country, you will never be able to enter here, because most of the time they give life ban. But in some cases, some companies, when you're being employed by a company, they will tell you you cannot cancel before 6 months. When you cancel before 6 months, they can give you a ban. It can be 1 year, it can be 6 months. It depends on the company, because some companies, they put very long bans on people. That's why when someone comes to me and say, Sibyl, I want to cancel from my company, do you think it's going to be a problem? I will tell them, what were the agreements you had on your a contract form. That is why I always tell people, check your contract form that you have. Some companies will tell you can't cancel your visa. So when you want to sign a paper, tell them, what if I want to cancel after the probation period? Always ask this question to know your left from your right in this UAE, because some people will go and the work is very tedious. They will say, I want to cancel. One person came to me and I told the person, be careful, check if you have a travel ban if you cancel after your probation period, because there are some companies, when you cancel, they'll put a ban on you. They might put a ban on you. So check if your company is going to put a ban on you or not, because some companies will put a ban on you and you will not be able to work maybe for 6 months or for 1 year. It depends. If they're not going to put a ban on you, then you can cancel. But if you stay away from work, that's why when you want to stay away from work, make sure you have a sick leave or you have anything to show for. Even if you have a sick leave, you have to call your company, or you're in hospital, call your company so that they can know where you are. Because if they don't know, you can be in trouble for that. Check your contract forms. Again, that's what I'm always saying. The first thing is your offer letter. You check. If you're not okay with it, don't sign the contract. If you want to sign the contract again, check your contract to make sure what you're signing is what you're going to do. Because if you don't do these things, you can have a ban. When you're being deported for overstay, like during the amnesty, I explained in the amnesty video, you really need to go to my previous videos and watch. Go to my channel and check the videos on amnesty. I explain a lot. In those videos, I explained that when the amnesty is announced, if you have money, pay for your flight. Because if you don't pay for your flight and the government pays for your flight, know that you have a travel ban on you. So always pay for your flight so that you will not have a travel ban on you. If you apply for a travel ban cancellation, I don't know if it's going to be possible. So even when the amnesty is out, check. Make sure you have money to pay for your flight. But if you don't have money to pay for your flight, just know that you're going to get a travel ban when you're being deported, because they'll put a travel ban on you at the airport and they will tell you you cannot come back to UAE again. That's how it's going to be. But if you are being deported because of alcohol or drugs, I think that's something that you can never come back to UAE. If you're being deported because of loans and something, and I think you have to pay the loans before you can come back to UAE, and if you're unable to settle the loans, you can never come back to UAE again. If there are very heavy crimes, you can never come back to UAE. Even if you apply for a travel ban cancellation, you will never come back to UAE. There are minor things that when it happens to you, you get deported for it. You apply for a travel ban, you're going to be excused for that. And if you are deported because you had a disease, you were unable to work because of the disease, because when you get a job in UAE, you have to go for a medical test. When you go for the medical test and they see that you have something positive in your body, you'll be deported. I don't think you can come back to UAE with that. So those are the things that even if you apply for a travel ban cancellation, it will not work. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to share the video so it can help others, because I know there are some in their countries they don't know how to go about it. And if you need me to explain furthermore, if you're not very clear, you can check me on Facebook. My Facebook is here from Sibyl. I'm on Instagram as Wosun_Sibyl, and my TikTok is here from Sibyl as well. You can even send me an email. My email is wosun@gmail.com. I like answering questions because I'm here to help those who need more information. And please, when you come to my inbox, make sure you tell me exactly what you need. Don't come with hi, because I'll never respond to your hi. So just explain what you need and I'll be able to help you from there. So thank you for watching this video. Check my socials. If you write me here and I don't respond, make sure you write me on the other sections, because I might be somewhere, right? I'm not always present, but Facebook is where I'm constant. So you check me on Facebook first. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.